Do you see how it warms down the SIO? How can I help you?
I spoke to Jane Ellis on the phone approximately 10 p.m. last night. While we were talking, the doorbell rang. She ended the call to answer the door.
Did she tell you who the visitor might be?
No.
And was your phone call professional or personal?
Professional. Any idea who did this?
We haven't ruled out misadventure.
But she's stepped into an empty lift shaft.
It happens.
People are pushed into an empty lift shaft. That also happens.
I'm applying to get her patient's records released. See if anything comes up on the nutters she was treating.
Well, let me have a copy, so maybe I can recognize the name.
We think she stepped or was pushed into the empty shaft and fell several floors onto the lift roof. Lay there through the night.
Was she alive at the time?
Yeah, she was alive.
Unfortunately, this building doesn't have 24-hour security, so if she did come to and cry out, there was no one to hear her. 6:15 this morning, the cleaner took the lift to the top floor. If you have a special interest in this case, Chief Inspector, I'd appreciate it if you'd tell me.
No. No special interest. Give me a minute, would you? Anything been moved?
No, nothing.
Jane Ellis was found dead this morning.
What?
We are starting again. I want you all to go back to the beginning and examine everything. What are we missing? What links the victims? Take another look at our chief suspects. Sal met his wife, Gina. Where was she yesterday? Did she meet anyone? If she's hiring a contract killer, they're going to have to communicate. Check her line. The consultant, Henderson. Where did he train? Duncan, Kate, talk to his ex-wife. Why did they divorce? Was he violent? Did he have therapy? I want a list of all the patients who were discharged yesterday. Talk to personnel. Any staff with personal problems? I want to know.
The words drowning man and straws spring to mind.
Do you think Jane Ellis is connected to our murders?
What, do you?
No, it's just... You asked if Henderson... Jane Ellis doesn't appear to have any link with the prison. She never mentioned to me that she knew anyone involved in the case.
Yes, you're right. Maybe, why would he or she want to murder Jane Ellis?
I suppose her patient notes will become evidence. The entire Met will get to know what's in them.
I'll speak to the SIO. I'll make sure he's the only person who sees them.
Yesterday, with Jane Ellis, it didn't end well. I walked out.
Why?
She didn't listen. She's talking about a gunshot. But the first time we met, I know I said gunshots. When you were held hostage, after you were released, did you have nightmares?
Yes.
Other things? Images you can't connect?
Radio playing. People laughing. You?
I hear shots. I see...
It's okay. Tell me.
a door. Wind in the trees.
Do you know this place?
I've tried. Everything is so vivid, so familiar, and I have no idea where I am. I don't understand what's happening.
When you're there, how do you feel?
Terrified.
Before she died, Jane Ellis called me. In her opinion, you're unfit for duty. But I've decided I'm going to keep you on the case.
Thank you. Once we find the killer, I promise everything will get back to normal.
Suspicious when you were there. Did she tell you she was expecting anyone? I saw your writing. Why were you there? No, I was scared. I was scared of me. I was scared of the person that I had become. Without prejudice. No, I judge myself. The man I was for you had gone. I wanted to be that man for you. Because I love you. I never saw her again. Until now. I'm so sorry.
You are denying him his legal right to legal counsel. I insist that you send for the hospital management immediately. I insist on speaking to the highest authority of this.
Can I help?
I demand to see my husband.
Visiting is prohibited. I'll have to ask you to
This
leave
is a
the hospital.
violation of human rights.
Well, if you'd like to come with me, we can try and sort this out.
Why is Sal still here? It's over 24 hours since Houseman was killed. You promised he'd be moved.
Your voice, please. There are 6 sleeping here.
My husband is chained like bait to a prison officer. If the killer comes after Sal, he'll murder you too. Have you thought of that?
Mr. Letty, please.
I love Sal. I need to be with him. Please.
I'm sorry.
If you won't protect him, I will.
For the last time, could you please leave?
If anything happens to my husband, I'll come back and kill you myself.
Escort her from the building.
This way. Gina! Gina!
You're Carl Henderson's wife?
Ex-wife.
Why didn't you tell us?
I keep my professional and private lives separate.
It isn't even mentioned in your personnel file. Why would you want your connection to be such a secret?
I kept my maiden name after we got married. Most of the people who work here know about Carl and me.
It must be difficult being Carl's boss and his ex-wife. Especially after the loss of your daughter.
Well, he came back to work too soon. I warned him, but his work is very important to him. It's a large part of who he is.
Did he ever seek help?
No, not Carl.
He bottles it up.
Have you any children?
A boy. Sam.
Ginny was our only one. You don't realize how precious... the unimaginable hole they leave. I wanted to talk about her, keep her alive. If Carl and I had clung together, shared the pain, maybe the 9 years of her life wouldn't have been wasted. But Carl couldn't face me.
Why couldn't he face you?
Oh, she was with him when she was run over. There's nothing he could have done.
He blamed himself.
He blamed the drunk driver, the judge for giving a lenient sentence, the press, the politicians, the paramedics, me for not being there.
Was he ever violent towards you?
No. No, never.
She seems pretty honest to me.
Why hasn't she got a picture of her daughter in her office?
Well, she said she keeps things separate. We don't all bring personal stuff to work.
Kate, can I have a word? Just had the commander's office on the phone. Mrs. Macy wants to make an official complaint against you.
She threatened to kill me. I had to have her escorted from the building.
Oh, I told her surveillance. Make sure they're aware of that.
Looks like she's hanging around.
Tony is in Hearts. Hello, Tony.
Hello.
How are you this evening?
I'm all right. I'm not actually back home yet.
So what time did she get here then?
She never left. She's been here all night.
Well, how come her engine's still running?
The pipe runs under the car and up through the heating intake vent.
I just sat there and watched her die.
Suicide?
She stayed in her car because she wanted to be close to Metty. She didn't want to die. Why didn't you smell the fumes?
She had no sense of smell. A pan boiled over when we went to see her, and she couldn't smell it, remember?
Do we assume the killer knew that? Put in a request to see her medical notes. When did you order her to leave the hospital?
About 6:20.
According to her surveillance, She arrived at the hospital at 18:05. After Kate told her to go, she made a phone call, went for a walk, bought herself a cup of coffee. She returned to her car at 19:47.
CCTV?
Nothing on the car parks, only on the hospital entrances.
I want every member of staff interviewed. Anyone coming in or out of the hospital between 6 and 8 p.m. last night? DCI Metcalf speaking. Could you trace someone for me? Yes. Kate Beecham. Yeah. She was adopted. I want to see a social services file.
Mrs. Gina Metty was a patient of yours 5 years ago. Renal problems.
Disclosure of a patient's notes is wholly unethical, a breach of confidentiality.
In her notes, it clearly states that due to a congenital problem, Mrs. Metty had no sense of smell.
What's she talking about?
After her marriage to Sal Metty, Mrs. Metty came to you for a checkup. When you learned she'd married a prisoner, you refused to treat her.
Who told you that? Sal Metty?
What happened to your duty of care, Mr. Henderson?
Gina Metty was a private patient. I choose who I want to see.
Prisoners whom you abhor are murdered in this hospital, the governor, and now we have the death of a woman you refuse to treat.
You may not have anything better to do, but I have patients to attend to.
Claire told us being a doctor was very important to you.
Look, if this is just a sordid
It must be
attempt
quite a buzz having the power over life and death. Couldn't save your daughter, though, could you?
Where were you yesterday between 5 and 8 p.m.?
Here in the hospital.
Were you operating?
No.
What then?
I took a nap.
A nap? What about your patients?
I rescheduled.
Why?
Because it suited me.
He lost his only kid, for God's sake.
He's hiding something.
Stand away from the prisoner, please, sir.
Your face! This can't go on!
Stand away from
You murdering animal! You have you any idea what you're doing?
What exactly did Henderson do to him? Did he touch him?
Grabbed his arm and shook him.
Get a doctor to check out Metty. Now.
What are they looking for?
Anything.
You said to Mr. Henderson, this can't go on. What did you mean by that?
He was remonstrating with a patient.
Can't go on implies it's happened before. Is Mr. Henderson in the habit of attacking patients?
No.
Was there any medical reason for him to be with Sal Metty?
No.
Well, why was he there, then?
I don't know.
Well, why did you come looking for him?
It's late. I just wondered if he wanted any help with his rounds.
You were afraid of what he might do?
Sorry?
Why are you scared, Dr. Aziz?
I'm not.
British medical profession is notorious.
You blow the whistle on one of your own, I'll hound you out. Is that what you're scared of? What did you do to Sal Mehti?
Do?
What was the purpose of your visit?
Those prisoners get more care and attention than my patients can ever hope for.
Sal Mehti's wife died today.
Yeah. My daughter died in my arms. You know, 1 minute she was standing by my side at the curb, and the next she was traveling down the road under a car. The driver must have felt her bones crunch every time the wheels turned. By the time her body worked itself free, he drove off. Yeah, you're right. I could have saved her if I'd held onto her hand, or if she'd been the other side of me. You know, the driver, he got 5 years, reduced to 3.5. That's 3 years for my little girl's life. Now, Sal Mehti, a convicted murderer, tries to ruin the only thing I've got left, my reputation.
Sal Mehti had nothing to do with
Don't defend him. You're in this together.
Careful what you say here. You go anywhere near the prisoners, I'll have you removed from the hospital.
Apart from his previous condition, there doesn't appear to be anything else wrong with Mr. Mehti. But a scratch mark on one arm, nothing else.
Whose side are you on, Dr. Ryder? My entire career's been called into question on the word of a madwoman. Be careful she doesn't turn on you.
I'm sorry. Ignore him. He's not himself. I have a clinic.
Arrest Henderson.
What for? Scratching someone's arm's hardly ABH.
Try defamation.
Look, it's late. I suggest we go home and get a few hours sleep.
I'll give you a lift.
No, thanks.
I wondered how you were.
Better. Had my chest drain out this morning. And?
Kate. She's been spending quite a bit of time up here. Has she said anything about me?
She said on the way to the prison that you were a northern chauvinistic git.
I wish she'd say it again. I'd know she was okay.
Look, what she went through in
She once referred to you as a self-righteous windbag.
Yeah, well, we've become unlikely friends. It's funny.
What?
Well, when you first meet her, you wouldn't think so, but she seems lonely.
Kate doesn't need anyone.
Or you only say that because she makes out like she doesn't need you. Something. He's out of control.
Can't discuss it here. We'll talk tomorrow night.
Okay, fine.
Mr. Aziz? Mr. Aziz, a word.
I needed a piss.
You should have called.
I know. Have you seen the night nurse? She's Filipino. She's gorgeous.
Susan.
Kate, sorry. No decent late night movies. I thought you might want to share this. We could order a pizza or... Here, let me go. Ever since the prison, you've hardly looked at me. Why? For God's sake, will you just say it?
You left me.
I didn't mean to.
You left me to die.
There was an opportunity. I took it. It went wrong.
All you were interested in was saving yourself.
Bullshit. How do you think I felt when that gate closed?
Relieved, probably. Relieved it wasn't you.
You cannot really believe that.
You think I don't know, Duncan?
What?
How scared you are.
Scared of what?
Of everything. Of life.
Als je me verdient, dan zit je beter nog een lot. Toi, babad. De blema zin zin. De vipe parat. Paratiti, bema zima zima.
It looks like MRSA. Methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus.
The superbug. The tests will confirm it for certain.
Will it kill him?
Well, it depends. He's very weak from the gunshot wound. There are various antibiotic regimes we can try.
Could he have been infected deliberately?
It's possible, I suppose.
How's it contracted?
By contact with a carrier through open wounds, cuts, abrasions. Spread may also occur by indirect contact through touching towels, bed sheets, wound dressings.
We move Metty to the Isle of Wight now.
Sorry, but that's not an option. He'll have to remain isolated. No one in without protection. We'll screen all his guards just to be on the safe side.
We're witnessing a murder. I want names of everybody who saw him yesterday.
There's one person we know saw him. Henderson.
How long was he in there?
Overnight, certainly. Henderson was riddled with cancer. His condition, plus the blow to the head he received, may have helped accelerate his death. It could also explain the mood swings, his increased rate of procedural errors, and the naps he took in the afternoon. Traces of morphine were found in his bloodstream. He must have been in great pain.
Any chance of DNA?
We're working on it.
Request extra manpower. Try and trace Henderson's movements after we interviewed him. Who did he talk to? Did anyone see him? Go through the files of every patient and every member of staff again.
Why Henderson? I mean, Leo Simmons he operated on Mrs. Metty was once a patient. What's his connection to the other victims?
Every time we think we have a suspect, they're killed. Maybe that's the pattern. Maybe the killer murders to humiliate us. From now on, move in pairs, or at least tell your colleagues where you're going, and go as calmly as possible.
When you said to Henderson, this can't go on, you knew he had cancer.
Cancer?
This area is restricted to surgical personnel only.
What else did you know? That he was using morphine? That he wasn't fit to operate?
You're expected in theatre. Please leave.
How many of Henderson's patients died because you kept your mouth shut?
That's it. I'm informing your superior officer.
What had Henderson got on you? It must have been something pretty terrible. Why else would you let a terminal junkie carry on working as a surgeon?
Hey. The test confirms Salmetti has MRSA. Unfortunately, it's mutated into GISA.
Meaning?
He's resistant to all but one antibiotic. We're dosing him with it now, but it's probably too late. His immune system's very weak.
That's it. We evacuate the hospital.
I'm sorry, but that's impossible. Other patients may have contacted GISA until we know for sure. No patients can be discharged or moved.
The scratch on your arm, do you have any idea how you got it?
This is something new. Interviewing the murder victim before he dies. Henderson.
Did anything happen when Mr. Aziz tried to pull him off you?
Can't remember. Was half asleep.
Shall we get your nurse?
To do what?
You mustn't give up.
People I love most murdered. The rest of my family's thousands of miles away. And I simply want this to be over. Just don't let me die alone.
This came for you.
Thank you.
What are you going to do about Kate? She's irrational. antagonistic with witnesses. We can't afford to carry anyone.
Are you making an official complaint about DS Beecham's work?
She's not herself. It's bloody obvious. Send her home. Get her to see another shrink.
Thank you, Duncan.
That's it.
For the moment.
Nearly gave me a heart attack.
Sorry.
I'm making this wardrobe for a customer. She saw it in a magazine.
How's Mum?
She's on the 10 to 4 shift. Hold that end.
I want to try again. Us as a family. I know I haven't been easy, but you're all I've got.
No, I'm sorry. I understand everything you went through in that prison, everything. But how long would you be staying for? How long before you didn't need us?
This is my home.
No, it isn't. You made that clear from the moment you first arrived all those years ago. I can't put your mum through it. I can't go through it. Having our hearts broken, not snap in a moment, over years.
Please, Dad.
We love you. But you nearly finished us, sweetheart. I don't think you even like us. Go back to that team of yours. Nice, tidy life. It's for all our good. Believe me.
The Lord will restore his health, and if he has committed any sins, they will be forgiven. We ask you to listen to the prayer we make in faith. In your love and kindness, protect our brother Sal. In his illness, lead us all to the peace and joy of your kingdom. Live forever and ever. Amen. God, the Father of mercies, through the death and resurrection of his Son, has reconciled the world to himself and sent the Holy Spirit among us for the forgiveness of sins. Through the ministry of the Church, may God give you pardon and peace, and I absolve you from your sins. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
I've got agency nurses staying away, staff going round in pairs, spying on each other, and all deliveries left in the car park. Have you any idea how much time that puts on every single job performed in this hospital? Now, patients are dying because of failure of care.
You've had a terrible shock. I think you should go home.
Carl didn't tell me about the cancer. I didn't know.
He's dead. Sarmeti's dead.
Yes.
You should have rung me.
Maybe if you didn't go wandering off.
I wanted to be there when he died. I promised him he wouldn't be alone.
He wasn't.
You deliberately kept me away from him.
What?
We'll discuss this in a minute, Sergeant.
How are you going to stop this? You can't even control your own team.
I was in the prison with Sarmeti. Where were you, Detective Inspector?
You send her home like I told you.
What's your problem, Duncan? Don't want to be reminded of your own failure.
You saw what the bastard did to Metty. Suppose it's one of us next. We have to be able to depend on each other.
Leave us, Duncan, would you please? If you two can't work together...
He's the one who doesn't want to work with me. I'm sorry, I'm trying. I really am. I didn't mean to embarrass you in front of Claire Fenton.
Where were you this afternoon?
It was personal.
Ian?
You have got to make him take her off the case before she does something really stupid. She doesn't get it. I'm worried for her. She's going bonkers. Not from where I'm standing. If she'd just talk to me. He speaks, she listens. I keep seeing them huddled together. It's like she thinks I'm just this insensitive bastard, like the deep stuff goes right over my head. Oh, but Red and her, no, they've got the T-shirt. You know, traumatic stress syndrome. The only way to suffer. I sound like some jealous prat. Kate.
He still isn't home.
Mum, this is D.I. Warren.
Duncan, pleased to meet you.
He always comes home for his supper at 7, Duncan. I run round his friends.
Fine at lunchtime.
How do you know?
I popped in for a chat, nothing special.
Mobile phone?
In the garage. He didn't take the van either.
Public transport?
No, not if you could help it.
I tried the hospitals, but nothing.
He's good with his hands.
He likes building things, cupboards, walls.
Any money worries?
No.
Are there any family problems?
One of those bricky mates of his probably showed up. They'll be in the pub, setting the world to rights.
I know. I'm being silly.
Oh, we'll check out his usual haunts. Ring me if he turns up.
You ashamed of your dad?
Let's try the Prince of Wales and Canal Street first. I'm not ashamed of him. More the other way around.
I doubt that. I thought Maureen seemed okay.
You would. She and Ian are the people that buy all those knickknacks abroad. There's clutter everywhere. You can't sit down and eat without moving something first. They thrive on chaos.
Works for some people.
Well, I like space and order, some sense of control. All that stuff about you being scared, I didn't mean it.
No, you're right. Not about the prison, but personal stuff. I've just cocked up so many times. Maybe winding people up is easier.
All his tools are in the box. If your dad is this chaotic bloke, how come he's tidied everything away before he's even finished the job?
Stay back.
Why?
This door's been nailed up.
He never hurt anyone. Never even smacked you. You will find him, won't you?
We'll try.
No, you will.
Mrs. Feet, Red Metcalf.
Okay, kids, boss.
I know it's not a good time, but I'd like to ask you some questions. Is that okay?
Of course, anything.
Did Ian... Now, this may sound strange, but did Ian ever have any connections with anyone at the prison? Did he ever do any work there?
No.
St. Paul's Hospital? Did he ever have an accident or anything?
No. He never worked there either. I'm sorry.
He cut my dad's face off. How angry would you have to be to do that? Why my dad?
You visited him at lunchtime.
Yeah,
Before that?
a few days ago.
And before that?
5, 6 months ago.
Why did you go there today?
It was messy. I don't know. I just wanted to be with my family.
How was it with Ian?
We talk. He talks about me coming home more often.
You write your statement. We'll organize a cup of tea.
Why, Ian? Why Kate's dad?
We've been looking for something that connected all the victims to each other. How about if all the victims are connected to someone else? One common outside connection.
Who?
Kate.
Kate?
The prisoners. The governor. Henderson. Jane Ellis. Now Ian, her adoptive father.
Hold on. You think Jane Ellis is one of ours?
Kate was involved with all of them.
How much do you charge an hour?
Well, it depends. Is the client entitled to legal aid?
No.
£75.
Could fly to Malaga and back for that. And I've changed for a paella. I'm your client, right? Everything we discuss is confidential. Kate's been involved in every murder.
Define involved.
She's connected to every victim.
Even a bloody therapist, Jane Ellis, nosedived into a lift shaft.
What are you saying? You're saying Kate's the killer?
No, of course not. But since the riot, I don't know. Is it possible? Maybe...
Night Leo Simmons and Pace Tierney were murdered. I was coming round for my operation and I saw her. She was standing there and she was talking to me. She said, "You're safe now."
You were wacko on drugs. You dreamt it.
Perhaps.
But even if you didn't dream it, it doesn't mean anything. Sick building, sick patients. You've got a sick mind, mate. You know that? Kate the murderer. Hey, what are you doing? Come here.
It's £75 an hour, any part therein.
It was a symbolic gesture.
So's this.
Duncan? Kate's finished. You take her home.
We're here. Kate, we're here. Sit down. Lie down.
I'm unlovable.
No, you're not. But you don't have to do that. Not to make me stay. Try to sleep.
You'll be here when I wake up.
Yes.
found them in here.
She truly didn't remember?
Nothing. No. And the doctors, psychiatrists and police and the judge, social services all agreed it was best not to tell her. But she was only 5. Kate was protecting herself from the truth, specialists said. That they kept her under observation for a while, and then we got her. Maybe if she had been told, if we got her help.
Can't blame yourself.
Oh, but I was the one who said trust the experts. We were trapped in a charade of happy families, like nothing happened here. Like Kate's life started the day she came to us. I mean, we were terrified, of letting something slip. Torian apart. And he had all this love and all Kate's sensing is there's something terribly wrong, but she doesn't know what.
So she rejected you before you could reject her?
Why hide him? To prolong it? To punish Maureen and me even more?
Captain Beecham, I'm arresting you on suspicion of murder.
What?
You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defense.
Let's talk about this somewhere
Answer
else.
that. It may harm your defense if you do not mention when questioned something that you later rely on in court. You were badly affected by the riot. You were hearing things, you were having
You think
nightmares.
I lost my mind and killed all those people? How could I
Flashes
do
of
those
memories you couldn't place. How do you know you didn't kill them? Jerry forgotten in the side ward. Coincidental visit to your dad.
Why would I kill them?
Anger, hatred. The man don't need a motive.
For God's sake, Red.
Take her, put her into custody.
Thomas.
Can you do this? If you really think she's mad, she's unfit for questioning. You must have her examined.
That's an order.
Don't worry, I'll organise bail.
You've lost it again, you bastard. You realise that? I told you to hand this over at the start.
Get her out of here.
Come on, Kate. Please just stay back.
Duncan's right. The lunatic here is you.
I'm sorry.
He's arrested Kate for the murders. You should have seen him in front of the entire hospital. Thomas Stone, me, we've tried, but he's not listening. You've got to reason with him.
If you do not go now, I will have you thrown out! Duncan!
Metcalf. Kate's been bailed. She left the station half an hour ago.
Duncan, take her home.
Oh, please, Red.
I haven't got my car.
Take mine. Keys in the jacket. Under the conditions of your bail, you must stay away from this hospital.
Duncan? Duncan, what's wrong?
Get a doctor!
I didn't do this.
Try and keep him still.
It's okay.
What happened? He's been poisoned.
Car crash.
Don't die, you stupid bastard.
DCI Metcalf's office.
I love you.
Yeah, a crash team, please. Garrett Ward.
Don't let him die, please.
Keep his head back, his jaw forward. Make sure his airways are clear. Go to the pharmacy. I'll be as quick as I can.
It's okay.
Excuse me, excuse me.
It's worse, it's much worse.
What you giving him?
Adrenaline. With any luck, should stabilise him long enough to when he get a tox result. Can you roll his sleeve up, please?
His pulse is strengthening.
Thank you.
He's stable. As soon as I get the results back on this, I'll know what anti-serum to use.
Stay here.
I want to see him.
Just a minute. That poison was meant for me. I thought the killer would come last night.
Kate was in a cell last night.
I never thought Kate did it. Whoever the killer is, he's protecting her.
Protecting her from what?
Anyone who puts her in danger, upsets her, threatens her.
You put us through that farce, arresting her.
To provoke the killer to come for me. Only he got you by mistake.
You bastard.
I'm sorry.
I swear I heard Kate say she loved me. It was probably the poison frying my brain.
We'll have DS Warren's results back within the hour.
That's quick. Have you seen Kate?
I was looking for her. She had quite a shot this morning. Might be an idea if she had a checkup.
Well, if you see her before I do, you tell her I want to work with her.
Are you hiding?
Red thinks I'm a murderer. Or mad. All the people I trust most in my life, I'm losing them. And I don't understand. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
You never seen Kate?
Maybe I did do it. Maybe Red's right. Mad woman, a murderer, they're gonna lock me away.
No. I won't let them.
No one seen Kate?
You used to look like that when you were little.
Sorry?
When you were scared. Even with the nightlight, you were frightened of the dark. After Mum and Dad kissed us goodnight and closed the door, I used to wait. I'd hear you. Climb out of bed, tug at my bed covers.
I don't understand.
My parents died in a car crash. I had a younger sister. She was 5 years old.
You said your family.
A fantasy. Something I dreamt of every night. Something I never dared dream would be returned to me, especially not you.
My brother died, they told me.
They lied.
What's my name?
Sarah. Sarah Ryder. Mum and Dad were at a party. I heard noises below. A policeman and a policewoman, they wrapped us in blankets and carried us downstairs. The babysitter was crying. She said there'd been an accident and Mum and Dad wouldn't be coming home. And finally, 2 social workers came. And they put us into a car and drove us away.
What's this?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up in the BNF.
Is it adrenaline?
No, some type of anti-serum. It's not something I'd normally have any use for. Not unless I was handling a venom or serum. Then I'd carry the antidote in case I accidentally injected myself.
When Dr. Ryder came to get that, did he take anything else besides the adrenaline?
No. But he came in later for some sodium amytal.
What's that?
A barbiturate.
Can it be lethal?
Depends on the dosage.
There was a room like this, you know, with beds running down the sides, remember? In each bed was a girl. And someone said, "Say goodnight to Sarah, Philip." I told them we had to be together, but they wouldn't listen. In the morning, I found you sitting on your bed. You were rocking, tearing your hair out. I held you so tight. And I promised that I'd always look after you.
When Kate told you she loved you, was Dr. Ryder in the room?
I think so, yeah. People came. They said you were a danger to yourself and others. And you kept calling my name, shouting, "Help me, help me." Your feet slid along the floor as they dragged you. The door closed and you were gone.
According to this, he's no next of kin.
Well, he said he had a family. Dad, Mum and sister.
Ryder's car's in the car park. No sign of Kate at her flat or her mum.
Still in the building.
I tried to blank it out. All these years. Too scared. And suddenly there you were, you know, in the prison. Calling for my help. I couldn't believe it. I'd been given a second chance. When you said your parents died in a car crash, that you'd had a brother that you could...
Why didn't you tell me?
I nearly blurted it out. And I thought, no. No, why would she want anything to do with you? You are the only person I have truly loved. And I failed you. I'm sorry.
They searched the wards and the operating theatres, nothing. They're doing the basement now. SO19 are standing by.
What's left?
There's a couple of floors in the other wing, closed, lack of funding.
I won't let them take you this time. No one's ever going to threaten, abuse, upset, or hurt you again, I promise. I just wanted to protect you.
Why did you save Duncan?
You asked me to. You're safe with me. Yeah. You're my sister. So if they'd just let us stay together. If it'd been just the two of us. I had to earn your trust all over again. I knew that. But you know now, don't you? It'll be all right. They're not gonna lock you away. There'll be no more nightmares, no more madness. No one will part us. We'll be together for eternity, I promise.
Put the needle down, Philip.
My sister and I just want to be left in peace.
Your sister, Sarah, is in a psychiatric hospital in Northwood. She's been there since she was 5.
No, she's here.
You've been protecting the wrong woman, Philip.
Well, I don't know my own sister.
Kate isn't your sister, no matter how much you want her to be.
You're not taking her. I won't allow it.
Philip, it's over. Put the needle down.
All that wasted time.
Let go of Kate and move slowly away.
Don't be scared of the dark, sweetheart. I'll be right behind you.
Philip, move away!
I love you.
Take it. You were in bed. Your mother and father and brother were in this room. They tied your family up and gagged them. They probably had no intention of letting your family live. There was evidence that they had looked for you before they left. You were found by a neighboring farmer the following morning. You couldn't remember anything.
No car crash.
No.
Why didn't they tell me?
Maureen and Ian were only doing what the experts advised.
I wanted Philip to be my brother, even when I knew he was the killer. Does that make sense?
Yes. We're supposed to look after each other. Sometimes we're forced to make decisions that... Yeah, what I did.
You told me who I am. It's not knowing something that drives you mad.
You okay?
Yeah. Could I get a lift?
Sure.
I heard what you said to Philip when I thought I was going to die.
I was panicking. Said all sorts. Don't really remember.
Are you sure you don't want me to come in with you?
No, thanks. But would you mind waiting?
Sure.
Thank you. Sarah, my name's Kate. I'm a friend of your brother.